Hello everyone. Today we're going to be discussing about Windows 11 operating system. Last video we discussed the Windows operating system introduction level, and then on this video we're going to be discussing intermediate level. In particular, we're going to just discuss things that you already are aware of it, and then on top of it we build up some skills. But I don't know your skills. I don't know who am I talking to, because this is going to be a video that is going to be on YouTube channel. So when I talk about intermediate level, it depends on who am I talking to. Your level might be advanced, and everything I talk and the basic level or intermediate level or even advanced level. If you're an expert, you might just say, this is still below my level. I'm going to define what is intermediate to me as a professor that taught at a college level and worked at IT for more than 30 years. I have both my bachelor and master in computer science degree. So what I define as intermediate level, I'm gonna go through those ones, but obviously I'm not gonna be a very good uh, candidate to define exactly what is intermediate. Nobody is, because each one of us are defining intermediate level to the level that what is basic for us. Some of the steps that is basic to you might be different and that it is basic for a novice person that has not even learned anything about it. So similarly, intermediate level, depending on what you know about the basic level. So it is controversial. It's just controversial, and you can just argue about it. I'm not gonna be here to discuss that one further. So let's go with the video for today. We're going to talk about intermediate level. As you can see from the previous window versus this window, the fonts and everything change, as well as the color of the font, and also the desktop. The background image that I had was there. So on Windows 11, you can change the background image to different background images. For each one of them, you could have multiple different views of the same background image, which I will show you some of those ones, or I might have showed you already in the basic level. But we're going to cover a lot more today. So stay tuned. And then in order to do that one, let's get to my website, which is MyWebUniversity in both languages. I have it in Farsi language, MyWebUniversity in Farsi, which is this video. And as you can see that I have already posted the intermediate level. And then I'm also thanking everyone for watching it. In Farsi, we say با تشکر برای تماشا و اشتراک شما. And then an intermediate level of Windows operating system. And for C, you see it is saying سطح متوسط و سیستم عامل Windows. I'm not going to be discussing further in English. In Farsi. I'm going to be covering it at my web university, which is this video for this channel at my web university in English language. So stay tuned, and you're welcome to join our channel, depending on what language you prefer, at my web university or my web university in Farsi. Both languages, I have a lot of videos for you to just learn from them. So let's get started on the browser side. As you can see on my web university, the English channel, it is I have more than 1,200 videos already in the computer science and information science related field. And then I will just show you a number of ways you can just learn. First of all, by going to YouTube channel and search at my web university. This at my web university is my YouTube channel handle. Similarly, if you are going to a website, mywebuniversity.com is my secure page for the web that you can come in on this one, and you can see all the videos, as well as like if you want to go to the English version of it on YouTube channel, you could go there, or you could come back here and go to the table of contents, and then just learn my online book, The Direct Path to Linux Ubuntu, which is about 11 chapters. All these chapters are itself another chapter. So you're welcome to learn the entire Linux Ubuntu, as well as there's more information on that one. And then also the for C version of MyWebUniversity.com. You can see that if I just go there and then open the playlist or maybe videos, there's a lot of videos here as well. This was the intermediate level that I posted in 4C, and today we're doing the intermediate in English. The English version introduction is already posted here, and the next one is going to be posted in sorry, let me just in English. So the one that we are discussing is this introduction to Windows operating system, and then we're discussing intermediate level today. So let's get started with that one to show you intermediate level. This is your Windows desktop, as we discussed last time. On your desktop, you have option to right click here, and you can just check some of this stuff. So the view and large icons, if I change that one, this icons that are showing here, I can right click here and then click on view and large icon, the icon will show bigger. At the same time, I can go into medium, which I had the default one, or could go view and the small icon. So depending on your resolution that you have, on this resolution that I have right now on the display, 150% recommended, and then you can see the resolution that I have is 1920 by 1080, and this is also the recommended. So usually your display is going to have a choice of what resolution it supports. You choose the right resolution and then the size that you want. If I do this one, notice this screen is going to go really small for the icon. So I can go on the icon, say choose medium, and I can still see my display better. But because I changed the size, the display, I just changed it from 150% to 125. Even if I go like 100 to show you that this 100%, look how small the fonts are. It's very harder to read the text messages because I'm staying far away from my display or video. And then when I go on this display here, if I just go to something like MyWebUniversity.com, the interface is good, but it is just depend on what you open. So let's say I open in that previous window that is here, look how small it is there. So the information that are showing, it is readable, but for each of these pages that I go, it depends on how my resolution is, right? So you can see that the interface is opening a little bit different, but you can change that resolution to say, okay, right click here again, and then go display setting, and then instead of 100, I could say 150. Now it is much bigger in terms of text and fonts. And when I go to these pages, notice that less number of thumbnails were shown here on the page. I can always do control minus and just shrink it to the 25%, or this one and make it bigger, and that would be just much more readable on this. Similarly, if I just go a little bit to see this was the size that I preferred because I could see some of the thumbnails as well as the dashboard and everything on there. Similarly here. So as you can see, like control minus here, you could resize it to smaller, or control plus, make it bigger, right? So if I put it at 100% with that resolution of display at 150 recommended, it would be too big for it. However, I just have to resize it to the the size that I want to just fit it. So let's go back to this. This was the 50% of 150, and then the icons I can see. If I click on videos, I will see the videos also in a very nice format. So that is one way you could do it. Another one is if I open a command prompt, I have to make sure my font and text are. So if I right click here and then I just open the command prompt, now notice the fonts are already good size, right? So if I just say system info and then find /I and then just look for the operating system, it tells me that I'm running Microsoft Windows 11 Professional Edition, right? So that I could get a lot of information here. For example, if I want to get my model information or CPU architecture, I could get that information, mini Intel, and then Intel 64-bit. 64-bit family, so whenever you're downloading software, you have to do the 64-bit processor rather than 32-bit. And then if I just go here, for example, memory, how much memory I have, I could get a 32 gig here. At the same time, if I just type in about on this command, about your PC, this setting information, it tells you that the host name is algorithm, it's 11 generation, 3.4 gigahertz, and at 32 gig. All of that information that you have to type multiple commands to get that information, you could just get it in one command from the GUI. So the GUI also help you a lot. If you just type in here, for example, device manager, when you type in device manager, you can see that all the resources that you have on your system, it is all information listed. We were looking at the processor, you can double click on it, you can see it's 3.4 gigahertz speed, 8 of them is there, 8 cores, 11 generation, Intel Core i7. And then similarly, if you want to see the keyboard or the firmware or the disk drives, all of those details are here. So you can see that disk drive is 1 terabyte, and you can see that. At the same time, you can get more information by typing the commands here. So we open the command prompt here to get that information. And then here on the command prompt, if I clear my screen, I can type in help and then get the entire help command. Type more, I could get help on Windows operating system. That's the help. So you get any of these commands that is left on that column left. It says associate, attrib, and break, and all those details are here. So there are about 88 commands, and then if you need help on them, and when you're there, like for example, let's say attrib, help attrib, it will tell you, and then 5 more, you could just do one screen at a time. You get help on it. Similarly, like help copy command, you will get the copy command. Similarly, help dir command. And then for ease of access, I have already made these commands available for you in PDF format, and then also can be read online for you. So if I just say help, you see all these commands there. And then when you like do a tree command, for example, it tells you a list of all the tree directory structure there. It will just run it for you. And then if you do /f with the files on it, it will go much longer. So you could control C out of it and stop it. And then notice that when I type in directory here, I get the files here, but that file is a lot more, so I have to do a 5 more on it. This is all commands on DOS command prompt or disk operating system. Windows uses a command, so clearing the screen, if you type in CMD, it tells you the version of the command prompt or the build is 10.022.621. And then every time you type in CMD, it opens a new command subshell. So I have to type in twice exit. The next time I type exit, it will just close the main command. Now, if I just open a command prompt again here, you can see that this command prompt, let me just make it bigger. So here, this command prompt has a lot of information here. I can right click here and then change some of the options or just create another duplicate tab. And then notice that you have one tab and another tab. The next tab that you created, if you click on it, it opens a PowerShell tab. So every time you're on command prompt, by default, if you can set it to say, do you want to open a PowerShell or a command prompt? Now, since I set it up to PowerShell, it opens up PowerShell. Now I'm on the PowerShell command. So help is going to give me help on commands, but I want to just get the PowerShell command help. It says get help. And then similarly, in the list of commands that are here, you can say get dash commands command. All of the commands will be listed there. If you want to see the process, get dash process will give you all the process. Clearing the screen works like this, and then PS is also showing you on process on the PowerShell. So if I do a clear command, it's the same thing as clear screen. And if I do an alias PS, you will see that get process is the alias. Alias clear is going to say that clear host. So whether I type in CLS or type in clear or I type in clear host, all those commands clears my screen with PowerShell. On Windows, when I exit out and I'm on Windows, there's only one command called clear, right? So, but if I want to just clear my screen using clear, if I type in clear, clear is a PowerShell command as well as Windows and Linux command that clears your screen. That is not there. Look, I do that when it says command not found. So in order for me to type in command clear on Linux and Unix, you have something called alias. You can create alias clear and then type in like the command is equal clear screen. But that command alias is not recognized on Windows. So in order for me to just do that one, I could just say echo clear screen, echo clear screen, and then write it to a file called clear.batch. Now type clear.batch, it's a batch script. So every time I type in clear, it's going to clear my screen. So now clear works because of the script that I have it. But clear.batch is not in my path. It's not on my path environment variable. So it is on users Wahid. In order for me to be able to go out on this directory, let's say, and then I type in clear, this is going to say command not found. Why? Because that command is in C colon users Wahid and then clear. That command does it. This command did it, but the command by itself, it does not understand it. So in order to do that one, you can open a command prompt on the let's say on this one, you can right click on it, say run as administrator. When you create a command on as administrator, this one says welcome Wahid. So if I just cd to directory Wahid and clear my screen and I say set, I run all the environment variable. One of the environment variable, it doesn't matter where I am. I could do set and it is going to show me. But then if I say find profile, search for the string profile, if it is there with uppercase or lowercase, I have to say /I, ignore case. Now, one of them is user profile, and you can see Windows. So I can say echo percentage user profile percentage, and I will get that information. Or I can say find /user profile, and then that would also give me the same output. Since my profile here is that whenever I open a command prompt, notice here, I open a new command prompt, it's gonna just drop me to the same command prompt with user Wahid as my profile, and it tells me that I'm running a command window. So if I just type in the version, it says that. If I say volume, it gives me the volume. If I say command, it's there. Now I'm gonna exit out of this. I'm gonna compare this one with this other one that I open as subshell. So if I just clear my screen here, and I'm going to close it completely. Let me just close that one and close this one. And then this one, I'm going to close also for now to show you the difference. So let's open a command prompt, and then I'm going to open a command prompt called Windows command prompt. And then that you can see the title is command prompt this, and then this is my profile and everything. But at the same time, if I open a tab here, it's going to open a terminal PowerShell. I don't want to open a terminal from here. I want to just type in terminal here. And if I type in terminal, notice this one is going to open a terminal, and that is a PowerShell terminal. Where did it go? Let me just find it. This one is before. This is the bash script. And yeah, right here. So this is the one that is open as terminal. But now let's close that one also. Notice that I don't have any command prompt or terminal. How do I know that one? I can view it here. But at the same time, I can right click here and click on the task manager to say what are the process names here. If I click on the process and then I click on the name to sort it by name, I don't see any terminal here. These are the processes that are running in the foreground. These are processes that are running in the background. So the background process could be running as daemon, or could be running as service, or could be running as executable. But the foreground process, I have opened a Microsoft Edge, that are these YouTube and Zoom and MyWebUniversity URLs that I have opened, as well as a Microsoft PowerPoint, which is this one. You can see, and then Task Manager, which is this one itself, and then the VirtualBox virtual machine, which is this one. You can see that one right now. I'm running this one, and if I just click on show, that one is going to be shown. But at this time, I want to show you concentrate on this one for the command prompt. So if I just open another command prompt here, notice that in addition to this window for command prompt shows up for me, I have also a terminal here. And then notice by default, when you click on this one to expand it, if you just expand it, and then you can see open console.exec, runtime broker, and Windows terminal.exec. So these are the ones that are currently active for it. All these three processes. One is the background process, one is Windows terminal when we open the terminal, and then one is command prompt, right? So if I just say exit out of this one, let's say I right click here, and I could do end task, this blue screen will just go away. And then if I just spin it off again, this time notice that it is coming again here. The three of them are coming here. Expand. You can see this time I'm going to close it from here. Notice this is going to go away. So those ones are gone. So the command prompt is one. At the same time, I want to just show you, like programmatically, if you want to do it from command prompt, you want to just terminate that program. So as you can see here, if I do a task list command, task list, it shows all the tasks that are there. At the same time, if I want to say task list, but I want to see the command prompt itself, so I'm going to say task list, find, and then /I, and then I say CMD, command prompt. And then you can see command.exec is the console one. and this is the process ID for it. So if I just say, well, that is the one that I want to do, I want to kill this one from the command prompt by using not clicking here, not clicking on the X, and closing it from the terminal itself. I can terminate itself, or I could just open another terminal and then just say, okay, open another one, and then leave this one on the side here, and then leave this one on this side here, so you can see that one, and then open this one on this side, and then this one we don't have to have anything at this time. We just want to have that. So notice on this command, when I did the command list, find command, I have to resize this one so I can see the whole thing. In order to do that whole thing, you can see now I have two of them. So if I want to just kill this one, then I have to run the command for that one. If I want to kill this one, I have to run the command with that process ID. Okay, so let's kill that 1508. I'm going to say task kill / course / PID, and then 1508. So at this time, I'm going to resize this one. You can see this one is going to go on this window here. Okay, and then the one that is going to go 1508 out of this terminal window. Let me just minimize this one and move this one a little bit bigger. So you can see in the terminal we have 4 of them, but I want to just only kill the one with the 1508. So 1508 is terminated, and now that list. And now if I run the same task list command that I did earlier, the task list, and you can see the task list command, it's only showing that. So the kill command, this time if I just want to kill itself by task kill command, right here, and then instead of that process ID, I could say 19508, and that killed that one. And notice that in here on the terminal, we don't have the process for terminal at all. These are the processes that are were running and they still are running. So the VirtualBox Manager, the virtual machine, is another tool that is currently running right now. And I want to show you in terms of the performance. In terms of performance, you can see if you want to see the CPU usage, you can see this CPU usage is really nice. And then at the same time, you can see the utilization, the speed, 3.4 gigahertz, which is showing that an average of 3.0 gigahertz. And then the process, number of processes that are there, number of threads and number of handles, logical processors, how many are spawned. At the same time, for memory, you can see out of the 32 gig that we have, currently 13.1 gigabyte is used, and available is 18.4 gigabyte. About 2-3 gig is for the VirtualBox. And when I go to the VirtualBox and look at it, we can shut it down, even though on the VirtualBox, you can see originally, if you look at this running on the VirtualBox, I have allocated about 16 gigabyte of memory here with 4 processors. So when we go to the VirtualBox here, now leave this one here so I can show you the VirtualBox. If I go on the VirtualBox, the way you look at that performance here, you have to make sure your resources are utilized properly. So if I just say, well, I have 18 gig, and that's enough for me to just spawn another virtual machine or run a lot of other processes, because I'm good on CPU, I'm good on disk IO is good, the Ethernet cable, the Wi-Fi network connection, everything, GPU graphic, everything, all these resources that I can look at, I'm happy with. 18.4 gig is still, if I just don't use the VirtualBox, I need to shut it down. So let me just show you some of the command before I shut down, because on the VirtualBox, I told you that on the VirtualBox itself, I'm running about 16 gigabyte of RAM. I'm allocating it to run. So this is like some of the commands that I just did today. I'm going to have some other video for that one at a later time. But that reminds me actually of the website that I was telling you about, documentation on the help commands. Before I forget about that one, let me just show you. So on the documentation of the website, on this one, if you look at the MyWebUniversity.com, I told you that I have a lot of documentation, and you can see there's chapter 11 and the entire 12,000 some hundred files of Red Hat and Linux on Ubuntu. I have made it on PDF format, so you're welcome to just look at it and read it and understand it, and then memorize it and go on and on. So that is for Red Hat, and this is for Rocky, about 11,000. Each one of them you click on, you will get a PDF file for that one. And I give credit, full credit to MyWebUniversity, my website, Python programming language, the Rocky Linux manual pages, and the free PDF module that I used to write this program in PDF format and make it available for you on the computer on the web. So right here is for Ubuntu, for example. If you look at Ubuntu Linux manual pages, all in PDF format. I did all of that one for you in Python programming. But on top of it, if you go like, let's say chapter 2, and you say, okay, that's great that you are making all these things. So what about Windows? So if you look at the Windows here, I have Linux and Windows technical documentation. There's about 32,000 PDF files just on this page. It's called MyWebUniversity all_PDF. And then for example, on Windows, we have 88 commands. For PowerShell, we have 1,511. These are all in PDF format. So if you are a Windows person, and what the commands that I showed you for copy and let's say I showed you attrib and other ones, let's say Control F, you type in attrib command. And then the attrib command that I showed you on command lines, you can get it on my website in PDF format, the same one. Same thing with if you want to read it for you, it will read it loud for you. You just highlight the text that you want to read, and then
displays or changes file attributes. Attrib plus RR plus AA.
So it is similarly if you want to just do like we did a copy or X copy. So let's say Control F, you say copy, everything that is with copy command, it will be highlighted here. So X copy is highlighted as well as a copy command is highlighted somewhere right there. Copy, robo copy. So some of them are like copy right here. You can just click on it and just read the manual pages on it. Similarly, if I just do Control F for Control F for a move command or something, or move, sorry about that, Control F, move command. A move command, you can see the output is here, and you can read the entire command. Similarly, if you want to just read the for X copy that I showed you. So every command that you are going to learn it, you don't have to be sitting in front of a Windows machine. You could be at the browser, go to MyWebUniversity, and then on one of my chapters, you could get all of that information. So if you want a PowerShell commands, commandlet, list of commandlets, all of those ones are all available here. Like I showed you the get dash process or get dash command. So if you say get dash process, that command is here. You just click on it and you read the entire get dash process command as Microsoft provide that information. And I gave the credit to PowerShell commandlet as well as a Python programming language I used, and free PDF module and at MyWebUniversity. I'm hosting all that information for you so you can have access, free access. Similarly for Linux, Ubuntu, and other ones I already showed you. So that goes with the documentation. You have about 32,000 PDF files just on this page. Bookmark this page. You don't need to buy so many books. A lot of these books that you're looking for is already there. For example, if you're a person to just learn Python or C++ or GCC compilers, I would just go to one of the command. You can also practice it, like whatever command here, I give you examples on it. And if you are reading these ones, you can go to the manual pages and look at HTML command pages. So like, for example, GCC, you could search for it, and then that's like maybe 600 pages and long. So this is entire thing is available for you. But if you want this one in PDF format, obviously you have to go to MyWebUniversity main page, table of contents. This page, table of contents, is the entire book. I made it available. And one of them, for example, let's say you go on Red Hat, you look at it and Control F there, type in GCC, and then look at gcc.1.pdf. There's 678 pages long. You could just get that one. This is the GNU C collection compiler. So you can read the entire thing, or maybe G++ for C++ code. And if you don't have it in here, most likely I have it either on Linux Ubuntu or Rocky Linux. Whichever one I installed it from, I just must have generated that one. And this one is not having it either. Let's just see if I could get it on Ubuntu. I might have done it on Ubuntu Linux, Ubuntu. Sometimes certain compilers and interpreters like Python comes with it, but certain ones like G++ and GCC, they're not included by default. You have to install it. And I have shown you how to install it on the one. So this one, it is there. Most likely, if I just look at the Ubuntu documentation, which is this one, and then do a Control F, G++, and then that one is showing here, G++, 1 of 2, and then this is the one that I'm interested, and then that's the compiler for G++. And this one is like 552 pages long on Linux Ubuntu. Obviously, if you're on a Linux Ubuntu, you can get that information, or if you're on Windows command prompt, you can get that information. But you normally just don't want to install every operating system in order to do it. So you're welcome to go to MyWebUniversity, one source, and get so many Red Hat, Rocky, Ubuntu, Windows PowerShell, a lot of those ones, technical documentation and PDF format that I already built up for you. So here, if I type in, and now I'm using my virtual box to connect to a Linux Ubuntu version. How do I know it's a Linux Ubuntu? I open a terminal and then cd cd clear screen. And notice here, clear screen works the same way that on PowerShell works. So if I do Control Shift plus, here Control Shift plus makes the screen bigger. So if I do a clear, or I could say Control L, it will just do the same thing. Like ls minus L, Control L will do clear screen. And then clear command does it. So, but if I just want to do alias CLS like Windows, then I could just say run the CLS command, and that would do it. If I do ls minus L and then say alias CLS, you can see I assign a clear command to CLS, and CLS cleared my screen. But I don't want to do that. I want to just say an alias CLS. I want to just run the command that is operating system related. If you want to make it short for yourself, you type in C for clear, and then that will do it. So now every time you type C, it's going to do that. And some people prefer Control L, but C is only one character rather than a combination of two characters, Control plus L. So alias C is does that. So Unix and Linux provide you alias command, and then also a PowerShell, which is very useful on those situations. So let's go with cat -n etcos -release. You can see that I'm running Linux Ubuntu, and it is Debian distribution. So Linux Mint, Linux Ubuntu are all Debian distribution. There are other ones, Red Hat, Rocky, and then CentOS. All of them were based on Fedora distribution. And Fedora version is very, very useful. People like it. And someone made a suggestion for my Linux Ubuntu that it would be nice if we could have the Fedora version of the same command lines documentation. A lot of people are interested on those ones. Yes, I have already made at MyWebUniversity a lot of videos. Let me just show you. So if you go at youtube.com and then search for at MyWebUniversity, this is my YouTube channel, and you click on this one, you will just be going to Linux Ubuntu, MyWebUniversity. I have made a lot of files. These are all Red Hat, says from zero to hero. This is about 5,500 people watched it, and then a lot of people, 200 or some people liked it, and a lot of nice comments, more than 100 something. So it is going to be, the more people watch it, the more people are going to like it. It is still introduced to people. So my channel is new, and not that new, it's almost 2 years, but a lot of people, they don't know about your channel till they go to some social media, somebody else recommended. So if you're a Fedora version distribution and like to learn a Red Hat Linux Enterprise 9, the latest and greatest is on this video discussed. And then I have a lot of other ones for Rocky, full course, and then for CentOS, and then a lot of system administration level, advanced level scripting, and advanced level programming, bash scripting, and so on. And even Solaris Unix, I have videos for it, and you will be learning from it, including programming languages like C, C++, Python, bash scripting, a lot of them, automation, and so on. So you're welcome to watch those ones and enjoy it and learn from it. At this time, let's get back to the MyWebUniversity on the this one. We know that this is running here, and then at this time, I'm going to just close this one, and then we already have covered other videos. I want to go back to the windows to show you more. So I'm going to do a shutdown here. And instead of doing a shutdown here, I'm going to close this and then close these terminals that I have open, and then close all of these PDF files that I generated using man-t lowercase and -t in uppercase with Ghost script and all those command tr off and tr off PDF, all of those ones. But I'll show you some more videos. I already showed you the Python program that I generated with shell script and other ones. So I'm going to log out here. And when I say power mode, I'm going to say at this time I want to log out first. When you log out first, it is going to exit out, and it's going to say, do you want to log in again? I say, no, I don't want to log in again. I'm going to just say this time power off. So there's two steps. You can do that one, or you can do a shutdown -h now when you sync all those your files and make sure that nobody is logged on, no application is running. You can do a shutdown gracefully or -h and then the time, a halt and now or later. So that is one way. Now on the virtual box, you can see it is power off. So every other one of them, you want to just go. Like for example, I was talking about the Fedora distribution of Red Hat Linux Enterprise Linux 9. If I just open that one also run. But notice that on my task manager under the monitor, I have 22 gig available now because I shut down the virtual box called Linux Ubuntu. Now, as I'm spinning off the Red Hat, the resource are going to shrink a little bit, depending on how much of that program is going to get loaded. Even though I have allocated a 16 gig, 16 gig is not going to be taken at the first time when you start it. The daemons and the background processes, the initial RAM disk, everything that gets loaded on the system is going to take some space, but not the 16 gig. So if you go back here on the virtual box and you see that I have allocated about 8 gig on this one. And then 8 gig is not taken on this monitor, right? You can see it's only, it was 22, only 3 gig was there. So if I go back here and say free-edge, let me make this one a little bit more bigger. Now I think you can see it better. And then I'm gonna center it. And then I'm gonna say free-edge. Dash H means show me in human readable. And because it's showing already in calculating in size. Since I have 8 gig, which is about 7.5 allocated here, 1.4 gig is only used. The other free 5.4 is available, and then I can just call some other program or something, it's gonna load it. So if I run top here, you can see all my resources, the resident portion of the memory, the shared area of the memory, and the virtual memory. All of that one is showing for each process. These are the process ID, and these are the process that running on it. So if I just go here, say top -u root, to only show me the process of a root, you can see that the system is really efficient and running fast, and CPU usage is only 3.6 gigahertz, 6, and then nice, and then all idle, and then the memory is 7.6 gig, and 4 gig is available, around 4 gig. So all that information is there. There's no zombie process, and then load average is 0.35, which is very, very efficient. So when I say uptime, you can see the load average is 0.34 or 0.35. That load average, that this information is, you have to actually load some programs in order to see the performance further, and you can do check on the process and everything. There are some videos that I have already made, and depend on your question, I can help you further. I have mentored senior levels on Linux, Solaris, Unix stuff, and then programming and everything. I've taught classes in college, and I know in and out of this one. But until you bring the question, I could not just say that whether I know the answer right away, or I could tell you what to do. There's every level people that they are there. There's some level that is above them and some level below them. I'm not just saying that, oh yeah, I'm for every subject, I'm the subject matter expert, but I have been identified for subject matter expert on Unix platform, in Linux platform, and many other programming and software engineering by many senior level there, and they have worked with me. I have helped them, and they have also helped in the community and the projects, and we all help each other. From time to time, I get their help, and they get mostly my help as well. So it is not like one man does it all. We all do contribution. We all learn on a daily basis. Learning never stops for me. So at this time, let's go back to what I was showing you on the OS dash release. And you can see this is a Fedora distribution. The Fedora distribution, that means it's a Red Hat Linux, Red Hat Linux Enterprise, and version is 9. The updated version is 9.3. It was updated to 9.3. Originally, when you installed it, it's 9.1. Then you update it, and then it will go to 9.3. So the Fedora, the code name, all of that information are here. You can get that information. And I was saying that I made this Red Hat installation, and I made that video. So if you're a Fedora person and you ask that question, please look at those videos that I showed you earlier. So let me just shut down this one from the command line. Since what you need to do is sync twice, and then sync as many times as you do. There's no program running currently that I have to worry about. So I'm going to do shutdown -H now, and it will shut down the system as well as log me out. And now notice the memory is right away reclaimed. 22.6 gigabyte is available. And then if I go to the Windows host, in this case, my host operating system is Windows 11 Professional. My guest operating system could be Red Hat, could be Ubuntu, could be Rocky. So let's say we will spin off a Rocky version. Again, the Rocky in this case is 16 gig and 4 processors. And then I will show you also on the system how you can check for memory and processor aside from running a free command. So here we are spinning off the notification. We close it, and then we just want to log into the Rocky version. So this one, it tells me the login username is Wahidullah. I'm going to type in my password. That's my full name, Wahidullah. But I have a shorter name called Wahid. So whichever one you refer, Wahid means one, Allah is God. So when you're saying Wahidullah, you're saying there's only one God. That's all it is. It's a fact. And then we here type in etc host name, OS release, and then you can see this is Rocky. So I'm going to do Control-Shift+ to make it a little bit bigger. And then here, if I clear my screen and type in the same command with -N, showing line number, you can see this is also Rocky Linux. This is also Fedora distribution. Somewhere here it says Fedora logo icon, and then if I just here also RHEL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, CentOS, Fedora. The reason it says CentOS, prior to Rocky Linux, we have the Community Enterprise, C for Community, ENT for Enterprise, and the OS for Operating System. The Community Enterprise OS was the version prior to Rocky. It went end of life 2 years ago because Red Hat did not want to support it anymore. And then the founder of Rocky, which was Greg, and then also Rocky himself, the two co-founder, they built the CentOS version that I think Rocky passed away. So his co-founder, God bless Rocky, named Gregory, named Rocky after his best friend. So now we have the Rocky version, and this is also similar to Red Hat 9.2. So if you have 9.3, then it's similar. It is very much close, but unfortunately, Red Hat also made a decision when Red Hat was acquired by IBM. Unfortunately, they made a decision that they no longer leave the source code of Red Hat to open source community. You have to be a subscriber or a member or a purchaser of the license in order to have the access to a Red Hat license or a Red Hat open source. And then Rocky is still available for everybody, so you can still contribute on Rocky. But hopefully that decision will eventually change, or somehow will help the open source developer in some ways to just build on Rocky, or build on Red Hat if Red Hat agrees to support it continuously. So this is the version that you can also check. And then remember, I showed you the free-h, and these commands are available on those ones as well. And there's a cat -m, you could say, proc meminfo. The proc file system or pseudo file system, and that means that they run on based on memory. Even when I look at the file, that file is 0 byte, but when I read the content of it, it shows a lot of information. Like on first line, it shows me the size of the memory that I have allocated. That 16 gig here, this shows here 15 gig. Those ones are just a little bit overhead on the programs, but actually this is showing how much is memory available. And then when you run the command, I say this is based on memory. So if you look at this one, cat -LD, this one is basically showing you that it is a 0 byte file. Similarly, the CPU info is based on proc file system. Everything that is under the proc, the directory, is based on proc file system. Proc file system or pseudo file system or memory based. So that those files are 0 byte, but when you cat it to see the content of it, notice that they are more than just 0 byte. It is all this information are there. So you can also run the top command to get that information. You can see here, and then everything as well. Last time we discussed here. There's also CPU, LS CPU for getting CPU information, and then more information on the system details of what type of operating system it is, what type of operating system versioning, and then revision build. All the details are there. I have shown that those ones on previous details. On these ones, again, this is like list of application that you could run, and get it a list of them. And there's a lot here. I'm going to log out because I want to talk about Windows again. But these are the resources that we just looked at. And notice that if I go to the file manager here, just because I logged out, it's 19.0 available. Let's see if I just completely power off, then I should claim more power off. Then I should get that space back again to 22 something. And it's already 22 something because power off. So this is how you monitor on your Windows machine your source. In this case, my Windows machine or the host operating system is Windows, and I have multiple virtual machine. If you click on here, help about, you see the VirtualBox software that I have loaded. It is 7.0 VirtualBox. This is for virtualization. On Windows, you can do virtualization. You can get the VirtualBox software from Oracle website or from virtualbox.org, and it's all free. You can download it and use all these virtual machine to do it. Whether you do it Solaris or Linux, and you can see here I have a Solaris machine as well, Solaris 11.4 machine. So I want to just concentrate on this one. Otherwise, the Windows is going to be just so much if I just keep opening virtual machine. I showed you the processes, but at the same time, let's minimize this one. And I'm going to say under the view, we showed you all the options here. Some of them you can look at also by sort by name. If I sort it by name, this icon changes. And now if I say sort by size, that also changes by size. I can also sort it by type, item type. So whichever one you do, if you sort it by name, one's going to be in ascending order. If you sort it again by name, it's going to be in descending order. Similarly, by size, once you sort it by size, it's smaller. Once then sorted the second time, it's going to be the bigger ones are going to be on the top. So in this case, the second time was in smaller ones were on top, because whenever you click on it, it just kind of like a toggle switch. So ascend and descending order. So now I go back in ascending order. It was a descending order previously. And then this option here, you have by date modified if you want to just do it also. And then if you refresh it, if there's no changes here, and then automatically keeps it refreshed. But if there was changes, it will update the icons. Undo rename, if you redo something, rename something, you can click here to undo it. Here you can open all kind of files and folders and everything. So if you open a folder here and you call it Wahid here, you can open a folder inside here. When you double click on it, you can open more folders. Like for example, here I can open another folder called WebP. And then now inside here on this folder, I could just open a program, or I can open a notepad or something. If I just say notepad here, and then I say test.txt, I could just double click on it, and that notepad file this is test. Sometimes I talk too fast, and at the same time I'm not done with one statement. I just start another statement, which is bad for teaching. Sorry about that one. Let me correct myself. So I opened the test.txt and I put this word on it. So now if I just save it, it is going to be saved. If I exit out of this, now notice that the directory level that I opened, if I go back on under what directory I created that one, it is all in the path here. Now if I just say, okay, show me the location of this file. You say open with, you can open this file to whichever application, but you can also say, right click here and say show more option, look at the properties, for example, right? So if you say look at the properties, the directory path is right here, location. The users, Wahid, OneDrive, desktop, and this. So if I just go here and say take me there, edit notepad, you can edit it, and you can go and open it here and then share it, add to favorite, compress, copy path, and then so on. So let's say copy path, this path is copied. Now I can also go to the command prompt, and let's say I say CD, right click here and let's say CD to that directory. And most of the application, they tell you that I have to CD to the directory where it is. Now I'm on that directory, I type in and that is there, type test.txt.txt because I named a file and then Windows on top of it put the extension .txt. So now if I just say rename test.txt to test.txt, now the file is renamed here. Type test.txt is still there. Notepad test.txt, and I just add a new line here and say this is a new line, and then control plus here to see it, you can see it better, and then file save. And then if I close it here, this file is still there. So if I just say close, it's going to say, do you want to overwrite the other file? And I say, no, don't save it, because otherwise my previous file was already going to be overwritten. So now I'm going to just say, okay, let's go to the file, clear screen. And now let's see if test.txt has my latest change. Yes, it is. But you have to make sure that if a file is open, you don't override it with another file. Sometimes the system doesn't know. All it does is say, your last changes were not written, do you want to write it? But if you made some files, you have to either merge some of the contents yourself or just say, no, don't save it, and then the previous documentation was there. You can also back it up. So notice here, if I just say copy test.txt, .text as test1.txt, and then I'm going to be test2.txt, and then test3.txt. So now I made 3 files, test1, test2, test3 out of test.txt. So if I just say delete test 3.txt, notice my recycle bin is empty. When I delete it from command line, nothing is written to the test, not text. So I have to say test, test3.txt. Now, test1 and test2 and test that exist, but test3 is deleted. But notice I did not get this file here. So let's do one more time. Copy test.txt as test3.txt, and now I have 3 of them. If I delete this one with the del command, the file goes away, but nothing is written to the test. So I can say, well, I just need to look at the recycle bin and I can restore it if I did it by accident. But from command line, the files are not written. So make sure that you're not deleting it using command line if you have to restore it from your recycle bin right away. This is what you do. So now clear the screen. Now let's say I made a copy again, and this time the test3 exists there. I'm gonna go to the file manager. On Windows, you have file manager. Remember that I was on the directory that OneDrive Wahid Lutfi. So now this file is there. Notice this time if I right click and I click on this delete, this one just say cut it, this one say copy, this one says rename, and this one is going to say share it, and then this one delete. In this case, I want to delete it, right? So if I click on this one, notice the recycle bin is gonna add the file in the recycle bin right there. Test2 is gone here, but it is added in the recycle bin here. So now if I right click here and say restore, it's going to restore it back from recycle bin to test3. It knows the location where I was deleted. So now this time I'm going to delete multiple files. Test1, test2, test3. I press a shift and then I click on each one of them. Now I highlight it. Now I right click here and then I say delete. Now all 3 are gone, but notice here on the recycle bin over there. So if I just say only restore 3, just click on restore and then do it. Test1 and test2 is not there, but notice that this directory test3 is there. So if I want to restore the other 2 also, I could do the same thing. Press 1 and then press shift, highlight the second one, and then right click and say restore. And now restore all of them, and they're here. This time I'm gonna delete all of this, and I'm gonna say the delete, and I'm gonna just here, instead of restoring it, I could just say go to recycle bin, and then right click on recycle bin and say empty recycle bin. I don't need it. It's gonna prompt me, say, do you wanna delete it permanently? I say yes, because I don't need that. So then I could say, well, I'm on this directory. What if I want to delete this directory, Wahid here? So notice here, if I just copy this address, and then I just say on the command prompt, I could cd ... and it will be there. But let's say I was right here, clear screen on this, I could cd and then paste that one, now I'll be there. So whichever directory, you can copy that path. You can also type in the information on the URL and then we'll take you there. But let's just, sometimes there's options on this thing, say take me to the directory where it is there, and then it will open automatically that directory for you. So now I'm on this directory, and if I just double click on this one, it shows test. But if I go on Wahid directory, and then I'm just on Wahid, if I type in here, dir is there. I want to delete this directory and the content of it. So if I just delete that directory, there's two ways you can do this. One is that if you look at the content of that file, it has a file test.1. So I can cd to Lutfi directory, and then say del test.txt, and then delete it, and then come back and remove the directory, say remove directory test Lutfi. I could do that one. But if I just do remove directory here and say remove directory Lutfi, it's going to say that directory is not empty. Cannot be done because it's another process is using it. And whenever the file is open, you can, first thing is going to check whether that file is open or the permission is accurate or not. Once you know that the permission is there, so if I just close this one, I say, don't use it. Now I come in here, I do the same thing. This time it says another program is still using it. So where is the other program? Is this a file maybe that is open? I'm going to close all the files that are there to make sure that it is not accessible. And then I say directory here. Now this is directory is not empty because I closed everything that was open inside that directory. So I'm going to say, okay, remove the directory, but then instead of this, I'd say /s. /s meaning that delete the subdirectories and subfiles that are there as well. And this one will just prompt me, are you sure? I say, yes, that's an empty directory, test directory or something that I don't need anymore. It is deleted. But notice it did not put it on this one. So let's make a directory here called Lutfi, and then cd to Lutfi, and then create a file, notepad test.txt, and say, yes, go ahead, this test, that is good enough, and then I say save, and then exit out. So now I'm going to close all these other ones. So now I have a file called test in it, test.txt. This time I'm going to remove this directory from the file manager. So I'm going to go out here. Now directory of Lutfi has that file, directory of Lutfi /s. It will show the files and the subdirectories in there. So at this time, let's just do the file manager and then go to that directory, which is right here on Wahid, and that's the directory. At this time, I'm going to say right click and then say delete. And then notice that it puts it there, including the subdirectories. I could delete that directory. If I want to restore it, I could just right click and say restore, undo delete, and then it will put it for me. So undo, delete, or restore. This one is going to be deleted. We deleted, and now if I'm on this directory, this command was showing some output. Now it should show no files. Command not found, file not found. So that directory Lutfi doesn't exist here. And then I'm going to exit out of this one, and then I'm going to clean out the recycle bin here. Empty recycle bin here. And then we're done with this directory. I'm going to delete the directory Wahid also. And that is gone. And then nothing new here. So let me just close the file manager. And then I'm going to empty recycle bin. So I don't have extra stuff there. And then now let's come back here. We were under the new, and you see the other files. So you can open a text document. You could just, if you don't need it, you delete it. You open with this new, you can open like a Microsoft PowerPoint access database, a lot of this one, any application that you have, since I have a Microsoft Office, I can also get a Microsoft Access database right here, or Microsoft Word or something. You can run a lot of these ones from this command. For example, if I just say open document in presentation mode, or open Microsoft Access, or open Microsoft Word or Excel, or whichever one it is there, this tool is going to allow me to open it. So whenever you open something here, you say Microsoft Word. Let's just open a Word document here. You have this one, and then now if I just double click on this one, it will just say, okay, do you want to just start up a Word document? That's another video that I have to do. But this one, I'm going to close these two, this one and this one, control by shift, control, and then I could say delete these two, and then now they're gone. And then here, empty recycle bin, there. So you can also use, like similarly with PowerPoint or other ones, so you can open it here as well. And open a bitmap image and everything. All these ones, I'm not gonna go one by opening it. But as you do this one, you can also click on these icons, like PowerPoint, you have it. And then also for Office, Microsoft Office 365, if you just have the software, you just open it through this. And then whichever one that you want to log in, here I have my Microsoft Office. The Office product, which is database, Microsoft Access, Microsoft Excel, presentation like PowerPoint, and then forms for building forms with Microsoft Access, and documents for Word and everything that you can click on, you can open it. As well as you can also type in here for, so like when Word would be Microsoft Word. So if you want to open Microsoft Word, you do that one. If you want to just open PowerPoint, you just type in PowerPoint here, it will open a PowerPoint. And then obviously for every application, there are some templates that you can click on, and you just say, I like this template. Let's say you do it, and then you create it there. Or you could just say here in their file, and then I have already built a lot of them. So if I just go on my PowerPoint directory on the file manager, as you can see under PowerPoint, I have maybe thousands of videos that I made on MyWebUniversity. For each one of them there's these PowerPoints. So each one of them, like for example, introduction to Windows, the last video was this PowerPoint presentation. So when you go through it, you just, or just basically, you can go through a slideshow, or looking at it and learning from it and everything. Let's just close this one. And the current PowerPoint presentation that we're doing it is intermediate level. So let's get back to the intermediate level. And these are also through the file manager. Windows has file manager that you can look at the entire PC C drive, the volume C drive, and then you can look at the users, which is Wahid, my profile, and then all the programs that I have is under programs, and then some at MyWebUniversity, some documents. You can look at a lot of these details, like Windows itself is the operating system. So Windows System 32, like if I go on Windows System 32, this is all the binaries that are there with dynamic link libraries. All of the executables are here. If I want to just get a clear view of it, I can just go on this, or I could just say search for a star dot, let me see, a star dot DLL, dynamic link libraries, or on a star dot exec, and you can see that one. Similarly, you can get that information on command line. So like on command line, if you open a command prompt here, and then notice on the command line, I could say cd to /cd to Windows and system 32. Now I'm on the system star.dll, like I showed you there, you can get a list of them, 3,556 files. And if you just want to say star.exec, all the executable, 631 of them. So let's look at some of the executable, like notepad.exec. So notepad.exec, whenever you type in notepad, it's gonna just run that executable file. And similarly, if I say notepad.exec, it will run the same executable. Similarly, there's a file called calc.exec. So calc.exec will open it, and then also calc, the short form, is going to open it. Earlier, I was telling you about the Windows system command prompt. Now it's a good time for you to understand different permission by command prompt. So let me just get to that one. Now, if I just say clear screen here, if I say note directory here, I can get the commands, and then clear screen directory star.exec, and then that command showed me this. If I say directory calc.exec, and then I say get that information. Now I want to write that one just to say calc.text. And notice this file, it just says that run the directory command, run the calc.exec command that it produces this output, but write this output to greater sign, meaning that write this information and create this file if it doesn't exist at the current location. Since I don't have that permission, it says access denied. But if I have the same command and want to write it to test temp directory, which is a temporary directory, now I have created that file. This time, if I just say dir on that directory, it will just say that is there, that calc. So if I want to look at the content of that file, I'm sorry, not cat type, then it will just show as if I did a dir calc.exec. But notice that the content of that file, it had this information that was the content of the output directory command for calc.exec. So what am I showing you here? This one, I'm on the prompt shell of C Windows prompt shell. So if I say echo percentage user profile percentage, then it says that you're logged on as user Wahid. So I say that's good. And then let's look at the command output of set, and then, sorry, my keyboard, set, and then find a string. So whatever string that has the word Wahid from the list, show me. And one of them is the path, which is a very long one. So I'm gonna say list everything but the command path. So I'm gonna say find slash b, and then I say path. Now, what does this command do? The first find command, I could do it without the string here also, that would work the same way. And clearing the screen here and then running this command. The first find command, it just says find anything that has the word Wahid. The second one, it says that include everything but the word path. Since slash b means exclude any information that has the path string in it. So now you have all this information. So the username you can see is Wahid, and then the user profile is user:Wahid. So if I want to just see that one, my temporary place where I can write it also, all of that information is there, the OneDrive information and all so on. Now, let's do this one and just open another command prompt. But right click here and say run as administrator. And then I say set. I accept it. So this information that is here, I'm gonna put this one in the left column here, and this other one, I'm gonna put it on the right column here. So notice that this information here, and then this one information, if I say set here, notice that the details of this information is a lot more, right? So now let's look at this one, say clear screen, and say echo percentage user profile. The user profile is still myself, right? But the prompt, it says administrator command prompt. So let's look at the set command and then find any string with admin. To see if any string admin case sensitive, ignore the case. App data has it, and then user domain has algorithm. So the host name is algorithm, that's fine, clear screen. Host name is algorithm, and also here it shows algorithm. Okay, but just because the kernel of the operating system, in this case, give me the administrator privilege, now I have much higher privilege here. If I clear the screen here and I say echo calc.exec into a file called calc.batch, it says access denied. Here, it should not say that one because I'm administrator. So I say echo calc.exec into greater sign calc.batch. It just created that file. Now I have a directory of calc star is going to say you have calc.exec previously, but you just created calc.batch. Here, directory calc star is only going to show me the calc.exec, one file, right? Clear screen. Sorry. The file shows both of them because I created here successfully. So this one, it's still, if I want to just override that file, clear screens. Let's say I say echo, and instead of calc.exec, I could say write something here. Say I say write one character on it. It does not write it. So if I just say write that file again, calc.exec, it doesn't make sense to write the same name with a different information. But I could say write also a file, say date command with /t, and then run the date command /t, and then just give the output of write the output of it to that one. But I don't want to write the output of it. I want to say echo and then date/calc and then double greater sign this time. So in addition to type calc.batch, in addition to running calc.exec and calc date, it is written there. Now this time I say permission denied again, but if I say type calc.exec, .batch, that one is going to show the two commands. Now, if I run calc, it's going to run the calc.exec because the name .com runs first if they have the same name. If calc.exec is there, calc.exec run the second, and then calc.batch run third. Since we have calc.exec and calc.batch, calc.exec runs every time you run like this or calc. But if you run calc.batch, since it's found in there, it's going to run the command. Notice it ran the command date and it also run this. So it doesn't matter which window you run that command. Now say type calc.batch, it runs this one. But remember, this is important. Now if I go cd to this directory, clear screen, and I just type in calc.exec, or calc is going to run my calculator, all right? And then if I say calc.exec, it also run my calculator, which is calc.exec in Windows System 32. But if I say calc.batch, now calc.batch is found in the Windows System 32 under the path environment variable. So it should run this calc.exec and it should run date.t. If you guessed it right, that's correct. It ran those two commands. Important to notice that. It doesn't matter what place you put it, as long as it's found in the path environment variable, it will just execute that command. Since Windows System 32 is in the path, it will find this file. But I don't need that file. I'm going to move that file to another location or delete it, delete calc.exec. Notice here, if I just clear my screen here and I go to Windows System 32, and then I say delete calc.batch, it's going to say I cannot do it because access denied. But if I say delete calc.batch here, it will delete it. Now I do a directory calc.star, it's going to show one. Here, say directory calc.store is going to show one. So that's how that detail is there. In order to see it better, you can do a full screen. You can see this one. And similarly, if you see this one with full screen, you see one file calc.exec is there. So that's a little bit scripting. I'm going to do more scripting for you as well as the time allows. So let's go back to the display. We already looked at it. The display setting, we already looked at it, and we can just also change these ones back to what I wanted. So we already changed it. I'm going to go to personalization. On personalization, if you change it to another display here, you can just right click here, say next desktop background. You can get a very nice background here for nature. So if you click on it every time you click next desktop, there's 4 of them or maybe more, you will see all of them. So if you just go on the personalization again and change it to, let's say, on this one, and then you say, okay, let's go on this one, what are our options? Next desktop background, you can, every time you click on it, you will get it. This is basic, but some people like it, and it is nice to just set up your environment there. This is not intermediate. Anything that you can just click and select it is fall in the basics, but it's still where to find it and all of that information is under display. And you can also change the colors of the display here, like whatever you want that display here, you can select here and then you can just see that is there. So let me just put the personalization back to the window or the color I like. And I'm just going to stay on this one because my presentation are based on this. And then the other options that are here, you can also open a terminal. So open terminal is going to open a PowerShell terminal. And then you can do control plus here. Control plus will make it big, or control minus will make it smaller. So if you run the PS command, it will run the processes. If you can say start process called calc, you will just see the calculator here. And then at the same time, you can just say PS, and then you get all the list of them. But clear command and then PS where, and then you just say $__name like dash like is the syntax. So you say dash like calc, and then you have to put asterisk for wildcard match, and then this brace. And notice this is not bracket, it is brace, meaning that it start and begin and end up like a loop. It finds out the calculator.app is running. And if you just see that one is on the right side here, this is the calculator. If I just want to close that one, I can just put a stop and dash process, and that will stop it. So we started a process, and we could say start dash process, and then let's say notepad. And then now notepad is started here. This time I'm going to search for this process. Let's move this one on the right and then this one on the left. So you can see that part of the window that are here. If I just want to say, okay, that is good, and that information, I want to stop it. I go to the same where clause. This time I'm just going to change the where clause to say notepad. And then I stop it right away. So let's just start it this time on notepad. And this time I'm not gonna kill it. I want to just say list it first. You see that it's notepad. So if I want to just say, rather than wildcard, if I want to just match out this exactly word notepad, I have to be very sensitive to that command line. This one shows everything, but now I say dash equal. Notice if I say this one is not going to match because the word is notepad, right? So if I do this notepad here, it's not going to find it also. Notice it's case sensitive, so I have to type in uppercase notepad, in uppercase, everything else is lowercase, notepad, and then that would find it. So it's case sensitive. Now, if I just do a stop dash process, it will stop. So that's a terminal. You can also open a terminal here on Excel by just saying that command prompt here, whenever you are on a command prompt, let's say I'm opening a command prompt first. You can also type in a terminal by just getting it to PowerShell. It will just open a PowerShell terminal, or you could just click on here and open a terminal in PowerShell. So whichever one method you prefer, you can do that one. Or right click here and say open in terminal. That will also open terminal for you. So also you can type in the word terminal at the start window and it will open it. So these are tips and tricks that you could learn over time and practice it, and you will enjoy it as you do these things. And then here on the icons, whichever icon that you are willing to learn, you can start like Visual Studio Code. This is the application that you can do on Visual Studio Code. And right here, I just wrote this program. It's run this way. The output is showing. You can open terminal and you can go to the directory here and then do a PowerShell command and then get a child item is the same thing. Alias dir, you can see as get child item, or you could say alias get child item. And then if you do the directory here, this program might be on a different location. So I just do edit and then look at the properties of it and just say, or open location or something like that, then I can get into that location of the file, or I can do a find command on the server side, or close it and open it, or double click on the file to see where it is. Let me see, copy path is here. So right here, I could say clear a screen here, CD to the copy path, and that's on the temp hello. So CD to temp, C colon / temp. You cannot put a file name on the CD. It has to be a directory. So the temp hello program is on the temp directory. I can say Python and then hello.py, and that will run it there. Or I can say type hello.py to see the content. The same thing that is showing here. You can also run it from a terminal here that is there. And let me close this one. Visual Studio Code, we went through some of them. You can run like PyCharm or Microsoft Edge. I'm not going to open each one of these ones, otherwise the video is going to be forever. MySQL Workbench, I have already videos on it. You can learn VMware for virtualization, like VirtualBox, VMware software that you have to pay for it. The software for downloading is free, but for support and running it, it may be required, especially if you are running it in production, you have to pay for the software for support. So this is like creating virtual machine, and this is Kali Linux. I'm not gonna open any of these ones. I'm gonna just go to the next level here. Here is like a shortcut to all the information that you can just see on the web, what's going on today on the news and everything. And then you can also do taskbar setting, and then all the setting that you wanna on and off, the home system. So under the system, the display, we already showed you the Bluetooth devices that if you want to add, or network, internet connection, personalization, we already showed you. A lot of the tools are the same, but here you see this one, apps. Under the installed apps, sometimes you say, well, certain apps, I don't want to install it on my system. If you just have to remove apps, you can come in on this list and then find out the application that you want to uninstall, and then you could just do it. So let's see if there's anything that I just like to delete it. Xbox Live. Since I'm not a game person, I'm just gonna select this one and uninstall it. I mean, you're welcome to play any game that you like and play all of those ones, but I'm not running any game. So now I uninstall it. Easy as pie. You can just right click and then just say remove that one. That's how you uninstall an app. And if you have to create a remove a shortcut, like you create one here and say folder, the shortcut comes in here, right click and delete it, it's the same thing. Because this is not attached to a file, that's just a shortcut, that's a directory that you created, and then you just doing it through that way. But if you have to uninstall the apps that are installed on your system, this is how you do it. And on every application that you install on the system, different ways you could do it. Sometimes you download the binary or the ISO image, or install the software. There's many ways you can build it from source code. You have to know those details. Gaming, I don't worry about it. Okay, that accessibility is something really nice. So the text size, for example, if you just change the text size and it's readable to you this much or this much, make sure that it is good for you. But because I'm making videos, I want to make the text a little bit larger so it's more readable. Like if I just leave it at 150 something, 155, and it's very good, and I can see that one. Privacy, security, Windows update. So last update, I'm saying that your system up to date. If you just check for update, it's going to check and says that last time I checked it was today at 11:07. So I don't need to check it every 5 minutes. But as long as you check it once a week or once a day, then the latest update, your systems are up to date. It will just update it for you. And then the update history, and then everything else. And then the installation is so easy. You check for update, that it's going to give you a prompt saying that your system needs to apply the latest patches or updates. And you say, yes, I agree with it. Then it might require a reboot. Then you have to make sure you're not on a production machine, or schedule it with your team if you're doing it on a production machine. You might be not working on a desktop or a Windows client all the time. You might be working on Windows Server, so you have to schedule it with other people. And then on this option, I'm going to close here. Right here, we also have this the start menu. On the start menu, you can type in any command here to open something, or you can go to log out or log out or sign out or change the account setting, or you can shut down or power off or put it in sleep mode or restart the system. But this time I'm not going to do any of that one. I just show you, for example, one of the options that are here, like calculator or something. If you just go on this, any application that you're in need of it, you could open it and you just use it here, as well as the recent ones that you open here. But on top of it, and these are pinned here. If you want to unpin it, right click on it and then just say unpin from start, or pin it to taskbar, and then it will pin it for you. At the same time, you have an option of typing commands here to search. So if you search, for example, say go to google.com. If you say by default it's selected as chat, even though you type in this, it's still, if you click on this one, it's going to open google.com. If you say on this one, if you just type in and say www.mywebuniversity.com. So here, notice on the chat, and you have here another one is for the application. If you want to go through App Store, or you want to just open it on the internet. So if you go on the browser, this one is going to choose the browser of your choice, and it's going to open it there. But if you did not select it to that do that browser, you could just say www.mywebuniversity.com, and then press enter, automatically opens the browser that's supposed to be the default one. If you choose Firefox, you have to say, like for example, let's say on the start, you can just say Firefox, and then HTTPS, let's say www.mywebuniversity.com, and that will open it in Firefox. If it didn't open it in Firefox, then obviously you have to open it in command prompt, and then say Firefox, and then here HTTPS, let's say I'm opening bing.com. It's a short name to type in. I'm going to type in Firefox and then no quotation. So Firefox from command line doesn't work, but let's see if it opens with Chrome. Chrome doesn't understand it either. So the way you open it, you can do a call, like a call to batch script, but that is inside the batch script. So instead of call, you can do a start and it will open it. The difference between call and start is start open the subshell, and then a call is going to be just within the shell that you're in there. So if you have a batch script that is there, let me just go to here and I show you the difference. Clear screen and CD to demo, CD to programs, and then /batch. I'm gonna maximize this screen so you can see what I'm typing here. And directory store.batch, let's say I'm gonna look at the content of type url.batch. So url.batch, I wrote this start the name of URL, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I want to open all 5 of them, I could just do it. But because I have the Zoom, I don't want to confuse it with Zoom. Let me just say notepad url.batch. Actually, I'm going to copy url.batch to say temp.batch. So notepad temp.batch, and then I want to just remove that Zoom. I don't want to open Zoom, but even opening like the other ones are fine. Now I could close them as I don't need them. And then I'm just going to say file, save. And then now I come back here, clear screen, type temp.batch. So based on this one, I could say temp.batch, it will run it and it will open those one. Like this is a Google, this is another MyWebUniversity. I could close it. This is another one of my channel and so on. So if I close all of this, and then let's say I close all of them, Now there's one that I have the Zoom, and I'm gonna just say, okay, let's just start with this thing.batch, and it will just do that. At the same time, if I wanna do the other one, I close all of this and then say URL.batch, and it will have the Zoom also. And right here is the Zoom. And then this is Google. So if I close this one and this one and this one and this one, only have this one. And now I run that tim.batch, everything is added in addition to the Zoom was there. So imagine how easy it is for you to write it. But there's one problem here. So if I just do start instead of doing, when I run the start command inside, it is going to open another subshell. So if I just do a temp like this one, and I say start this subshell, notice that in addition to opening these tabs for me, which I'm going to close, and then only leave the Zoom here. And then in addition, it opened another subshell here. See that there's command and then also because of the start. So when you look at the help of start, it says that it starts a separate window to run a specified program or command. Okay, so it opens another command. But here, if I just close this one, and on this one, instead of the batch, I say call it. Call that temporary batch. It does the work because of all my start there, but notice that I don't have another command, separate command open. So that is the difference between call and start. But because I had the start statement inside here, if you don't want to see it, you say notepad temp.batch. I already have temp.batch open here. So I'm going to put that at symbol on the first line, say at echo out, because although the start statement, I don't want to see it. So since I run it with temp.batch like this, it is confusing that you might say, well, it ran the commands start. This time, if I run the same call temp.batch, you will see that it opens those ones, but it does not open a subshell. And this is the difference. So you see that? Now let's change that one to a start. This one is going to open another command prompt. This is the command prompt that I have. On top of it, when I just run that one, and like this, now it does open all these URLs that I told him to open. And then on top of it, it opens a command prompt. This is a second command prompt on top of it. So I have to exit out of that one. I'm done with it. And that was call was not creating another command prompt. The start is doing it. So if you say help call, it says that it runs another batch script, calls a batch script from another one, right? So you can call a label also. I'm going to just say clear screen, help start. This one says it opens a separate command here. So that's the difference between call and start. So let's look at a little bit more programs here. There's another program, let's say directory start.py. I don't have anything here, but I could go on another directory to show you. But let's see on the F statement, if I just have this F demo example on Windows, it's also a bash script. So let's look at the fdemo2.bash script. This fdemo2, it says set the prompt to ask the name from the user. Once the name is exactly equal to Wahid, then you say echo hello Wahid, welcome back, because I was already logged on the system. Otherwise, it says hi and then the username. So in this case, if I just say fdemo2, it's going to say, give me your name. I say Wahid, it's going to say, hello Wahid, welcome back. What if I just run the name and I say Wahidullah, and they say hi Wahidullah. Even though that my full name is Wahidullah, the system is not going to match that string with the exact name string that I match here. So if I just clear screen and run the same script again, this time I say Cristiano Ronaldo, one of my favorite, most valuable player of all time, or greatest of all time, the GOAT, is Cristiano Ronaldo. Obviously, Maradona, Pelé, Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, John Cruyff, and all of those ones, Ronaldinho, a lot of them are there. Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, a lot of them are in that category. But I think from time to time, like Zidane is one of my favorite, and John Cruyff, Beckenbauer, a lot of them, God bless them, passed away. But thank God, Cristiano Ronaldo is the greatest player, and he's also a very, very nice human being. That's what I kind of like, his character and attitude towards children. Like Maradona, the other day I saw a video of him that kicked the ball to a VIP that was a little bit handicapped, and then he actually scored the ball by accident, even though he kicked it so soft. He went and get the ball back, and then said, wait. And then he kicked it really nicely, and then the kid saved it, and he hugged the kid, and it was both of them were into joy. And that's some characters that you have to look at it. Cristiano Ronaldo, I have seen him similarly with other kids. A lot of other ones, Messi and other ones are also the same. I'm not saying that they are not, but some of them, they are very, very nice human being in terms of helping in their neighborhood or just taking care of others as well. So this F demo got too long of discussion. Let's go back to F demo 2 dot batch script, and we say let's say Maradona, and it says hi Maradona. So whatever you say that word, and then you could run it with Belgate. It doesn't always have to be a soccer player, and then it will say that. So that's a F statement. But let's say we are looking at that, the start menu of the URLs that we wrote, the tim.batch and other ones. Let's say that if we can put a for statement to do the same thing for those ones. So let's look at the for example. On the for example, I have 3 examples that I could show you today. For demo 1 dot batch script. This one, it says echo off for variable name, double percentage in a name is to use this variable, and URL, and that is these strings are separated by a space. So whatever syntax works for the start Chrome in this case is there. If you do the same start Chrome that Firefox did not work here, it might work from Firefox at runtime, because that is the app is available. So if you say start HTTPS and www.bing.com, it should open Firefox, and it did. So if you just do the same thing with Chrome and say Chrome and then www.google.com, it will open Google, and then it will open it in the browser that you want. So here the for statement, when you do this one for this and this list, which is separated by a space and then a double quote around them, do, and then what you want to do is start Chrome and then the URL name. So if I just run that for demo 1, you will see that it opens those in a very nice browser, Google, and then MyWebUniversity and Bing and then other ones. So let's close this one. This was the three of them that was there. If you want to open more, you just have to put them in the list for the for statement. Clear screen and then type for demo2.batch. This one is going to open it from a file, url.txt. So this file, I'm not checking it in the script. You should check it, but I was assuming that I wrote it there and I just know the location is in the current location. So I'm reading this file, and then within the for statement, the /f, you usually look for the first one. But then when you have to use the use back queue, delimiter is equal double string, which is these delimiters there. Then you say this variable and this file do echo this one. So when you do, whenever you do echo, this one we're not just doing a display. We just want to see that if it parses this information correctly or not. So for demo 2, it shows that information there. And then the way we inserted it, it shows there. Now clear the screen, type for demo3.batch. This one is, while it is was opening on the first one, we want to just do something with it. What we want to do with it, we want to run the start Chrome on the variable output. So whatever was on the url.txt, each one of them is going to be open on the browser. So for demo 3 should open those files on the browser, and it did. And since the files are more, notice that the first one must have been on the file as MyWebUniversity, followed by Google, followed by Jet Propulsion Laboratory, NASA. I love this place. It's a very nice place. I worked for the past 21 years. Set of list of professional peoples. And this is the most best technical place on earth and the most professional peoples. I really enjoyed working there, and it's so much about the space and about earth, about everything that you could do. Think of technically, NASA and Jet Propulsion Laboratory does it. Whether it's robots, whether it's data science, whether it's software engineering, programming, IT, building robots and everything. And so this is MyWebUniversity, my YouTube channel that you should just join and make sure you watch these videos that I'm making these cool videos for you. And you are going to enjoy it and you will help yourself. And then once you learn it, please help others, because part of learning in life is that we have to help people around us and help people in the community, in the society, so we have a better globally, technology-wise, we should get somewhere, and then country-wise, and also especially community-wise. Everybody should be doing good on their jobs, at their schools, their families, and then enjoy life for better. And then also this one is for MyWebUniversity and for C, that I'm making these videos similar to my English version. I'm trying to help out all my country fellows, and that I was up to 19 years old. I was in Afghanistan. I was born in Kabul in Afghanistan, and I'm very, very proud of being from Afghanistan, and I know the suffering is very, very hard for those people, and I hope God will help all of us, and someday we all get somewhere. And I think it's a long path, but we have the perseverance. We have to do it together. And please help anybody that is on need for food or clothing or education that you can help. Alrighty, so we discussed these ones. Let's see where we are here on this one. I'm gonna minimize, and then On this option, as I showed you here, you can also right click here and then get a lot of these options on this one. Install apps, power option, event viewer system, device manager, some of the related computer management if you want to get the computer information. This is all more like system level or system administrator level, managing your computer resources, and then event logs and reports and everything, device managers and creating information, disk management and C drive and all the other volumes. You can do a lot of stuff there. As well as like if you want to just go task manager or terminal that I showed you. Notice here, there's one terminal that you open as admin right here. And then the other one is just a regular terminal here that you open, a regular PowerShell terminal. That's also available. So within terminal, if you want a terminal on the PowerShell with admin privilege, just right click here and then click on this. And if you want to just go on control panel or settings, you can just go on this and go to all your system levels, everything here. You have those options. Obviously, if you want to go like devices or control panel itself, you can just type in control panel and it will give you those information. Similarly, for like if you want to just change your environment variable, edit environment variables, you can do this one and set your path and everything that after installation, if your path doesn't work, you can do that. And right here, by right clicking here, you can also do the run or file explorer. Whether you do file manager, file explorer, or click here or here, all of them opens up file explorer and then you can do. Here you can also do explorer. You can get that one and then will open file explorer, the same thing. And right on the right click here, there's some runs and then search if you want to search something. Desktop, this is a nice interface. So if you're right here and you just rather than minimizing this and or just opening this and then say minimize this, let's say you open one and then here and then this and then this. So as soon as you minimize one, the next one is on the background. You minimize this one, the next one is the background, and the next one is background. So if you open all these three, and then you want to just open, let's say, go to the desktop fast, and you could right click here and just click on desktop. Since I just did not click on the other one, you have to actually, let me show you again. So let's say I open this, I open that, and I open this. Last time what I did, I click here first. I'm sorry, I click here first and I open this. So since I was not using it, if I click on desktop, it will close this one. So if you just say, well, it's this, and instead of clicking 3 times to minimize it, and then you could just right click on this taskbar and click on desktop, it will close it. So if you have only one application running, you right click and the desktop will do it. If you have like more than one open, and so now, and instead of opening all closing all these 5, you can just right click here and click on desktop. It will just take you to desktop faster. That's a shortcut. And then here, I showed you the run. You can type in any command here. At the same time, you have these desktop. So the desktop, you have one desktop that is current, and you can add new desktop. On the new desktop number 2, let's say I open Microsoft Edge, and then I open Firefox. So now I have 2 of them, and then I just say, no, leave this one. And then notice that as soon as I go on the desktop again here, I can have option of adding one more. And then on the next one, I want to just open, let's say, File Manager. So now the first desktop here I have is this. Second one is this, and third one is this. So on each one of them, the application that I open, it is shown there. So if I want to go to the File Manager on this one, I click on this desktop. Now the File Manager is open. I can do alternate tab also to see the file manager here. So if I close this one, now the desktop number 3 does not run anything on it. So and this one is empty. I can close it, and then this one is running Firefox and Edge. So one is open right now. If I do alternate tab, I could see that I can go to Firefox or I can switch between the two. So whichever one you do, you can do that. It's your choice. And then if I don't want to close it, open it, I could stay on my desktop here. There's also a chat on the line. You can do PyCharm, all the application that I showed you, Office, File Manager, Microsoft Store, Microsoft 365, Microsoft Edge, and then this is a Bitwise for connecting to another machine on Linux machine or any machine that supports secure shell client, and I could connect to it, and I just log into that server and remotely manage that Linux or Unix operating system as long as I have a valid authentication password. This is Firefox, this is VMware, this is VirtualBox that we open. So let's say we open this MyWebUniversity, we go start here. I want to show you the SSH that I was telling you. So from Windows, you might be able to look at files and directories and everything on the Linux side. And then you want to just copy files and transfer files. You could do a lot of stuff on Windows as well as Linux using secure shell. So I'm going to log in on this machine first. In order to just network between the two computers, either the machine has to be on DNS, domain name services on the network has a IP address that are static IP address as well as a DNS name. For example, let's say open a terminal here, and notice this one is a Linux Ubuntu server. So Control-Shift+, and it's bigger, cat -n etc os-release. This one shows that I'm running Ubuntu Linux 22.2. So if I just say, okay, that is great. What is ns lookup www.mywebuniversity.com shows? It shows that this one is on the local machine. It is because this host name, I define it as MyWebUniversity. So cat etc os-release os-release is telling me that actually on the etc, not os-release, etc host, it tells me that MyWebUniversity is locally defined as this because I define it to just point to that. When I do ns lookup on the www.mywebuniversity.com, it is going to, cat is there, and then ns lookup mywebuniversity.com. Notice that this one is still, because of this name here, is going to say, oh, locally I found it. Whenever you search on the Linux or Windows machine, grep -i host etc ns-switch.com file, there's a file called how to query this name server lookup. And then this ns-switch.com file, it says whenever you look for a host, look on the files first before you look on the DNS. Since it found the file entry 127 to match on that IP address, it's gonna just find it there. Okay, so it's gonna say this mywebuniversity.com is there. But if I just go on the command prompt here and then say, and let's look up mywebuniversity.com, that is a global DNS IP address that is finding, not locally. And it says that this is the IP address that I found for mywebuniversity.com. So what I could do is just locally, if I say, and let's look up google.com. Notice google.com does not have a entry on the etc host file, so it automatically give me the same IP address that is found there. And if I just do the same thing and let's look up google.com, it's gonna find the IP address of it based on the query search. So if I say minus Q is equal a record, it will show that one, the 14 that I showed you on the other machine. If I do a minus MX record, I could get the mail exchanger record. Similarly, if I just get the mail record for www.mywebuniversity.com. Okay, so I get all the details here, but remember that in this lookup, www.mywebuniversity.com, it shows the IP address is .231, but on the Linux machine, it shows that it's 127, which is the loopback interface. So how do I get this one corrected here? And if I want to just get this one, can I just say ping google.com? Yes, it is pinging. So I could say netstat minus rn. It's a routing number and name. You can see my routing servers there. If I say IP A, it's going to show the IP address, and then this is the interface, and this is the IP address that is on this machine that are allocated .202. .202. So that means that if I want to get into this machine name, host name is MyWebUniversity. I want to just, because of the host name, I wanted to assign it to MyWebUniversity. I created the file host like this. So now, if I want to comment this line out with the root access, then when I do a NS lookup on MyWebUniversity, it's going to just say the IP address of the 231. Because the NS switch lookup find it there. So that's one thing that you could do to do the change. But at this time, let's not bother with that one. I want to show you bedwise and everything there. Since I told you that this one is MyWebUniversity running, I could go on the setting and say, show me the network. And notice that it's bridge adapter. That means the IP address that I'm seeing on this one, say IPA grep minus inet, and then the one that does this one is the IP address of that one. But if you say IPA, you can get also fconfig on this interface. So fconfig emp0s3. That is the one, and then I say, show me grep minus inet. That's the first one. Now I say at -1. The first one is going to be there, and then I say awk print $2, and then that would be only the IP address. So that is the IP address of this machine. So if I say ping to that IP address here, you can see it's gonna go to this machine that I'm currently logged on, right? So if I say ping mywebuniversity.com, it's gonna show the 1.7 subnet because of the ATC host. So that means that the 202, 254, 202, I can get into this machine if I want to just use bedwise. So let's just go here and say 192.168.2 54.254, and I want to log in as Wahid. I know that the user I have created, so I'm going to click on it. .254 does not exist. It was .202. So I'm going to say .202, 254.202. And then click on start and log in. Let me move this one down and then click on login. And now it's gonna prompt me for login. Then I'm gonna say login as this password that I'm going to pass on. Now I have opened a terminal here. And notice that I'm at MyWebUniversity, the same machine here. Cat etc host, and you can see it's still that 1.7 like I did here. It is the same here. So clear screen, PWD. If I say uname -a, it's going to show all the detail. OS-release, it tells me that I'm on a Linux Ubuntu 22.2. I can also do a CMD here. And on the CMD, I could say SSH -L Wahid, and then 192.168.254.202. That also prompt me to do something here. So I can log in also to that one. So now I'm on that machine. If I say cat -n etc OS-release, I'm logged on from the Linux. So who am I? Is going to say that Wahid, you came in from this IP address of 179 from the Windows logged on to this machine. So if I just say open a CMD command prompt here, and I say, okay, what is that 179 IP address? How do I know that I came from there? So remember, host name is this one. If I say ping algorithm, then it's gonna ping to that gate, the IP address, and it is resolving it. So if I just say ping -s, it's not recognized. -s is a Solaris command, and then I'm going to and just say ns lookup algorithm. So you can see right away that it is showing it resolves it. The file here, clear screen cat etc host resolve.com file, it tells me resolve without the e. Resolve.com file, it tells me how the name server is going to resolve that option. On Windows, you have a file called Windows System 32 CD2 drivers, CTDC, and cat, not cat type hosts. And that this file has all the information saying that this is the IP address of this machine and how it should resolve it there. And then the file called host, and then there's services and also network and protocols, all the files that are there for identifying that detail. So ns lookup www.mywebuniversity.com, it goes to 231, that one. But here, this one, if I just create a file here, say ls -l on the, let me just go here, and I'm gonna say echo, let's say this is a test. I just create a file called test.txt and then type or cat -n test.txt. There's only one line. I'm going to write the file name called, let's say, cat -n /etc host file. So now type test.txt is more than, I'm sorry, not cat, test. So clear screen, I just overrode that file with this information. Let's do this information first, and then this information second with appending it to the end of it. Now cat -n test.txt has more than one line. Test is the first line, and then content of etc host is the second one through 11. So now if I just look at this file, test.txt, I have it here, but where is the directory? And then IP address, we already found out that there was 202. That means I can get into my command prompt here, and I could just say to any directory that I want to do is, let's say, temp directory here, and I could say, let's just minimize this one is smaller, so I can see the content of this one. And then I'm gonna say this command here, and this one is pwd, and the host name is that, and then IP address was 202. So how do I know the IP address was 202? I could say IP A and then grep minus I 192.168. That's good enough to find out that 254.202. I could have also said ls minus ld test.text, host name, pwd, and then instead of this one, I could say 254.202. Now this is highlighted in red, the whole string that is matching, because alias grep is showing that dash color option. Whatever you put in the string that you match, this one is, you don't need the minus I because it's it's number. You don't need to just ignore cases. Then a number doesn't make any sense. But normally, when I'm searching for a string, I don't want to just match something uppercase, lowercase, so I do minus I by default. But you don't need on the numbers. So here we are doing is we search for it. We found out that's IP address, and then now let's say on this command prompt, I'm going to just have this one right below that one. You can see it is this information, right? So what I could do is say, okay, it's copy, secure copy. I'm on a Windows machine. And if I just say CMD, you can see on my Windows machine here, clear screen, CMD, you can see I'm on a Windows machine, right? So I could, and you can see also I'm on the C prompt there command. So I could say, it's copy my username, which is Wahid, at my IP address 192.168.254.202. What I want to copy is from the directory Wahid, and the file name is test.txt. And I could call it test.txt also, or I could put a dot here, meaning that just give it the same name. For scopy and secure shell, I have already created a file called a video. You could, you're welcome to watch that one. So now I created that by doing this one, I did that one. Now test.txt is there. So if I open a notepad test.txt, I should have the same file that I just created here. Now, if I just change this file content and just say add as adding new line here, and then I just say, okay, save this one file, save, and then on this directory now say type test.txt. This one have this line. If I just overwrite the other file, I'm going to change it. But let's say that I'm going to run the command, say system info double greater sign, then say test.txt. And double greater sign meaning that write everything on top of it. Now, if I say more test.txt, I have this is new line plus all my Windows stuff. So now I overwrite it. Now let's say I instead of copy it, that one I'm gonna do is copy test .text as Wahid at 192.168.254.202 colon home and Wahid. I want to write it as test updated .text. So I want to write my password there. Okay, it says that it's 100% written. So let's see if on the Linux machine, I say ls -ld test start. You can see the file that I have this one, and then also the file that I have this. So these two were just created today. And now if I say more test.txt, I can see that one. But if I say more test underscore updated dot text, it has a lot more. So, and this information was just added from a Windows site. And then notice if I just look at this files that are test star, let's do a ls minus ld test star dot text. These two files are there. So if I say a grep minus I Windows, and then say for test star dot text, you see that on that test updated, all the information that it says Windows Professional, you can see that files are different. You can also do dev test.txt and test underscore updated dot text. Notice how much of options that you're there on Windows. And that's, so we did show you how to do is copy and the secure copy and everything on between these platforms. And if I just want to shut down this Linux machine, I just go here. I can just open the command prompt here, clear my screen, and then say, I can do exit here and then just close it from here also. So power off here, first log out. You say log out and it's faster. You can do shutdown -h now also, but I don't need to. I can do a power off from the command lines versus GUI. A lot of people prefer the GUI interface, so you're welcome to use that. Here, this one, even though I logged out from there automatically, as soon as I shut down the virtual machine, it says connection closed by remote host. So if you're getting prompt here, now you try to ping this machine, it's no longer up and running. Yeah, earlier it was running and now it says timeout because that is not there. So there's a lot of utilities on Windows also that do get information like netstat -rn and netstat. There's a lot, forget it. I'm not gonna cover each one of them separately because there's other video we already covered. So let's wrap it up. I'm going to also show you something called the snipping tool. Maybe I showed you on the previous video also, but I want to show you that also right here. I'm gonna log out of this. Since we closed it, we can just say this one, we are done with it also. These terminals, I'm gonna close all of them. I don't need to be running all of them. So let's go to the PowerPoint and then I'll show you the last part of the video, which is how to create thumbnail. So this is the thumbnail for this video. In order to do that, when I use the Windows snipping tool, which is a very good utility for capturing some part of your graphic screen or command line window and put it into a file or an image to a PowerPoint presentation or something. So right here, I just capture this information here. And now it is right here. Now, if I just right click here, I could save it as or copy it or share it. So I'm going to save it as. In order to save it, I'm going to put it into a directory where I call it generic here. And then here, I'm going to have the file, save file type as PNG, JPEG. So I'm going to give a name called Windows Intermediate English. And the English version not in 4C. So this one is, I created that file. Now I have closed this one. I like it like that. And then I minimize this one. Now, in order to actually create a thumbnail that YouTube understands it. So when I go to YouTube and I just say, go to my default profile, switch account, and then I'm going to go to MyWebUniversity channel. So if I just say, take me to my channel, this is the channel that I wanna import, right? So I'm gonna make this one a screen bigger a little bit, so it's easier. Read a lot of these videos, like I did this one, that was that one. In order to create these thumbnails, like you see that I made so many thumbnails, right? For each one of them, if I go to videos, imagine that if you're having 1.2 K of videos, how many thumbnails that you have to constantly create. I had to automate that steps. In order to automate it, I wrote a Python program that created my thumbnail. So let me just show you the program that I wrote to create the thumbnail. Remember, I saved the file on demo, images, and generic directory. So clear screen, CD to demo, images, and then a generic directory, clear screen directory here. A lot of the files that are having the extension .jpeg, I either uploaded last time or I'm doing it today. So this one in for C, for Windows 11 Intermediate, I already did it. That's why I named it English versus for C, so I can know that Windows Intermediate is this video. So I'm gonna say move star for C, star and JPEG to directly down. I already have taken care of that one, so I made a directory. For automation, you have to do all these things. So now JPEG this is the only file. Since I only have a file, I want to create a thumbnail out of this file, which has a particular size. So I wrote this program called a thumbnail underscore image.py. And let me make this one bigger screen. You can see that file. It starts right here and says that I wrote it and loads the Pelo module and all that thing. And this is the resolution that I want to create it. And then I create this is at this resolution because this is acceptable resolution for a thumbnail for YouTube. So that resolution and then the name that I created, whatever is the file name, whatever extension it is there, I put a thumbnail underscore, and then I do all this kind of rendering on it with the right Lambda function and JPEG and all that details that I can go over it. If you like me to help you further, please subscribe and please join and become a member so you can support as well. And then I will provide you a lot of my codes that are internal to myself if you join the membership program. But other than that, I still have a lot of free videos and education that you can enjoy it and learn it. And from time to time, these videos that I'm looking at it, you are welcome to look at it a number of times and understand the concept, how I did it, and just do it without having access to the actual source code. So in order for me to create a new file, .jpeg, I only have one. So I say Python, and then I gave the input thumbnail underscore image.py, which is a program that I wrote to create this thumbnail underscore. And as it opens it, it opens it for me. So it created this file for me, and then it says, okay, great. I was generating the thumbnail. So now if I say start.jpg, it has the thumbnail and this. Notice the size of this one is smaller than the actual file. So if I say use the start command and then open this JPEG file here as the argument, then you can see that this is the file. So you will see this intermediate level to Windows. Please make sure that you like and subscribe and make some nice comments so other people could also join, and make sure that you share my videos with your loved ones and your friends and your classmates and coworkers, that they also want to improve their skills and help out others as well. And when you learn it yourself, make sure you contribute to the community that you live. Take care. God bless you all. Have a good one. Bye-bye.